armed, then Secret's in a much more precarious situation than before. But if you pair him versus Elder Titan, what can Elder Titan do besides die or
Especially
not get
die or
experience?
offlane. Yeah, the creeps come a little close to the tower in this patch, but he's still going to get zoned pretty hard. Well, we'll find out, Ben. We're underway now. Na'Vi versus Secret. One of the, not the first showdown between these teams, but one of the few since the roster swaps. Got FNG on your Nyx Assassin, Funnick, the Elder Titan. Vangscore will be playing the Bane. They make a jaunt towards the Roche Pit. Dendi going solo mid on who else than the Death Prophet, and that does leave Havost on the safe lane. Bristle, meanwhile, for Secret, a hodgepodge of old teams, but now looking like a well-oiled machine. S4, your Brewmaster, looks like he'll be taking the mid lane. Simba will be playing the Timbersaw, or formerly Fly, going to the off lane, most likely. Big Daddy No Tail will be on the Ogre Magi. That puts Puppy onto the Keeper of the Light, and Kuroki, who's been an absolute beast since joining Secret and going back to his old role as a carry on the safe lane Terrorblade.
This is a cool play from Na'Vi. I have not seen this before. Drop the Observer Ward outside the pit, wait inside the pit for someone to get the bounty room. So, Big Daddy, is he gonna die? Yes.
He's like an Ogre Magi. It's like, you know, I can,
Well,
I can strut up here.
They have a good... actually, they don't really have a good
Vangscore walks down. They do see Big Daddy. Gets up the stun first. Those reactions, so good.
Indeed. I thought they were going to wait for him to be a little bit closer to the rune, but...
Yeah, they did reveal themselves, but... I'm not sure if they get the kill there anyway, but they definitely do a lot of damage. Instead, it's just one nuke for him.
Yeah, well, and they will put Funnick in the off lane, and I mean, that just makes it really easy. No Tail can zone him out on his own, especially with boots first. Even with the Stout Shield on Funnick, I don't think it's enough, and they have his reward out in the time.
And already he's going to start clubbing him. Give him the smack for now. With the 6 base armor, you really can't trade blows too easily with this here. Funnick just wants to get off that one spirit, at least get some creeps, but he'll have to turn tail and run. Middle lane, we're going to see a Brewmaster versus a Death Prophet, so just pretty much your classic farming mid lane matchup. And they are going to be giving away free farm to the enemy Terrorblade. We saw this end very poorly for Cloud9's opponents yesterday. See if Na'Vi have any better luck this time around.
They also don't have a good lockdown to kill the Timber Saw too. They have what, Sleep into an Impale with maybe Goo to catch. Havos has already skilled Goo at level 2, but I don't know. I don't see
maybe the Carapace, but like early on, he's not even going to have the levels for that. FNG hasn't even skilled anything yet. Carapace when he tries to chain out. Not bad.
See a wraparound from Big Daddy going in for the kill on Dendi, or maybe he's trying to snipe the bottle. They know that he's there though.
Dendi, unfortunately for Secret, Dendi's just not farming the bottle that quickly because he's gone for the Oil Talisman, picked up the branches as well. So No Tail kind of ambles back towards bottom, mostly looking for his 2-minute rune at this point. He'll come and lob a stun, just make sure Funnick gets right back to the tower. The real dance will be top lane. S4 moving into position. Vangscore can sleep him here. Simba's also ready. It's going to be an illusion rune. Do they try and make a play here on S4? FNG only level 2. Not going to bother. Close to being able to get a kill there with Dendi also coming in, but not going to happen.
Havos getting ridiculously good farm in the safe lane. 15 creeps as opposed to Kuro's 10. And Funnick finally getting some experience at the tower 2. Will hit level 3 off of this.
So how do you like the trades overall? Slightly better farm for Na'Vi, but you are not killing the enemy Timbersaw off lane, fairly greedy off lane, and Funnick actually doing pretty well early on in his own. Do you think the trades are good enough here for Na'Vi?
Yeah, I think so. I think Na'Vi's having a better early game than I expected, although FNG is still suffering in levels compared to, let's say, Keeper Light, who's almost level 3 and has a stack to work with. So the lanes might be okay, but the jungle is working out slightly in favor of Secret.
Now, Puppy going for the double pull and is successful in that. He can go back and farm those stacks later. It's also something the Timbersaw or the Terrorblade can deal with pretty easily later on. But think about a sleep here on Simba. Problem is, after that sleep, it's sleep into what? Mid lane S4 almost got killed off by Dendi solo. Really see what happened there, but just took a lot of harassment from the Death Prophet. Out of mana for the finishing blow. Doesn't want to leave this lane. Bottle is going back for Dendi, rune yet to spawn, so he knows there's no mana, and his own bottle will return. So boots in your bottle up, still falling a bit behind the Death Prophet, as you would expect, but not too far off.
Yeah, he also had that brief excursion with the top rune, which definitely hurts him a little bit. But at the same time, Dendi won't have boots for a little bit, so S4 can play aggressively if he so desires.
They're bringing in Big Daddy again, but of course this Observer Ward that gave them vision of that Ogre Magi moving towards the bottom rune also spots the rotation. No smoke for him. Sonic being slightly harassed. See Simba like on top of these supports and like, oh man, they might be killing him, better check, but not even taking damage. Everybody's pretty much getting what they want out of their lanes. Oh, bottom lane, not Funnick. Throws out the Astro, but he's being pursued out by Big Daddy. The first blood will go the way of the Ogre. That's what I meant with the reflection and the fall. They're going to try and make it go at the same time on the Timber Saw. Do they have a Mana Burn yet? No, no point to that Carapace. FNG's going to get in front, prevents the chain out. They may end up losing Fly, they will. Well, that is the one solution, is just get in front of the chain and Carapace it, prevent that retreat. Nicely done.
Nice spike Carapace indeed.
A pretty good gold swing for... actually, it's saying Na'Vi coming out on top.
Well, Secret gets
the first blood.
They're going to get the tower, too.
Yeah, so definitely won't be after this. Funnick caught out by the Ogre. He's trying to go blow for blow. Big Daddy dropping low here. Funnick's going to club him down. Staples his face in. Take that, you dumb Ogre. FNG retreats out with the Carapace. He's pretty low. He's got a single tango. Crow's going to send an Illusion in to hunt him, but FNG is ready for this, and he's just going to tango and retreat out. The Illusion will try to backstab him, but Tower will be here to protect him anyway. The tower, in the end, will go the way of Kuroki. That is a very early tower takedown for the Terrorblade. Out to 1,000 gold. Pretty even start, but you do see Na'Vi starting to pull a bit farther ahead in terms of farm. 33 CS on that Bristleback, and still maintaining a solid lead for Dendi mid.
Yep, Terrorblade though. I think Terrorblade's just much scarier come 15 minutes with free farm than Bristle. I mean, he does get what, Crimson Guard early, I believe, on Bristleback. Maybe not every game, but we shall see. Brewmaster 2 really needs to work on his Blink Dagger. 9 CS behind Dendi.
Gonna have a little skirmish for the top rune now. Big Daddy popping his heads out, but Bank Score's waiting for him here. They bring in reinforcements, they will. A lot of emphasis on securing these runes. S4 marching down to the river. Interesting build from No-Tail. He's gone for the 1-1-1. We've seen some players just max Fire Blast and Ignite, skip points in Bloodlust. We've seen others prioritize Bloodlust.
1-1-1.
We saw the Ignite max.
1-1-1 is I think the best build. There are both the Ignite and Bloodlust are really good value points. I think 4-1-1 after that is generally better too.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because we've just seen like, it's one of those heroes that's only recently been used on competitive. Occasionally we'd see like a lone druid ogre to Bloodlust the bear, but for the most part, this hero is kind of unexplored territory. Relatively unexplored.
Skip multis, man.
Well, yeah, that's easier said than done for some.
It just depends on when you want the hero's strength. If you want like max Ignite, he's really strong from like 1 through 9, but then he really tapers off later. But supports, you're not really worried about, you know, having too much strength in the early game, or not enough strength in the early game rather. You're worried about them falling off later, so you want him to be relevant for as long as possible, which is where Max Fire Blast comes in.
This Timber Saw is struggling in the off lane. Honestly, I would have expected Fly to do a bit better, but Simba rather, he's had a tough time of it. Only level 4.
Well, the supports haven't been concentrating on stacking and pulling though. They've just been almost 100% just focused on killing and Simba and protecting the rune.
Yeah, the only hero on Na'Vi supports that has been, or on Secret supports that's been getting the extra farm is the Keeper of the Light. The Ogre for No-Tail is actually the lowest in terms of level progression. Oh, bring in the Big Daddy. That early tower he has managed to secure his Arcane Boots. Can't get in range for anything.
He knows that there's an Observer Ward.
And while that's happening, top lane, do they have a grip yet? Nope. Well, they're gonna stack up the Goo in the auto attacks and Fly should be able to tell. Chain to safety. No, he can't. Oh man, those quills really added up. I did not expect him to go down there, but he just doesn't have the level 3 chain and wasn't able. Actually, he's gone for 2 points reactive.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's a very short range chain.
Level 2 chain is slightly better in this situation than reactive, and they knew they had Observer Ward because Ogre tried to wrap around and Dendi backed off before he would have been able to see them during nighttime. So Puppy should know that there's a ward here, and they actually just got a Observer Ward dewarded here too. So Secret not actually going to have an easy mid game at all.
Yeah, well, in good news, their Terrorblade's still been left relatively unchecked. Kuroki has gone for that, just the very cost-efficient build so that your illusions can maximize their time in the jungle, the Quelling Blade, the Aquila, the Treads.
Uh-oh, Funnick might be wrapping around for a kill here on Kuro. I don't know if that's... I don't think that's a wise idea. He's just gonna get sundered if he doesn't burst him down immediately. Oh, he's sundered. I don't... Okay.
Was it an illusion?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was.
Or was it puppy?
Was it
low.
puppy? Oh, okay. I missed the puppy.
I didn't actually see him use the sunder.
I don't think you can use it on illusion. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was just clicking on him and I saw his cooldown go down.
Well, that's a free fountain trip for him. Puppy's gonna bite the bullet there, but yeah, with that low HP pool, a tango is like a third of your health anyway. A little bit less than that. Noto gonna get scouted out here. Gets clubbed once by Funnick. Trying to zone him back a bit. Goes for the rotation around, but not successful in the end. Both teams content to sit back and farm, so we'll check our item progression here for Na'Vi. The Vanguard up for Evo, so Crimson most likely coming soon. Dendi. The Null Talisman and Phase Boots. Do you have anything on the Courier? Not yet. Generally it's either your Drums or your straight Yule Scepter from here. Outside of that, the only thing I worry about in their mid game is they have no real way to initiate. Stomp, not even skilled yet. No Vendetta. FNG's not even close to level 6. Vank score nowhere near his own grip. Ganking for this team is not that easy.
It is not.
So they just be deathballing towers? You're up against Coddle.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, they have the Nyx Assassin. Maybe once they get 6 with Nyx, they can try a very aggressive sneak around play and just assassinate the Keeper to Light. But at the same time, they have to deal with Panda Ultimate too. So Panda Ultimate is a really big problem, and that's where you need the Bane to be level 6. But the supports on Na'Vi, they traded off their levels for Simba's levels too. So the time that they can actually 5-minute group up is still going to be some time to come, unless they get an easy kill on bottom with these double smoke. But I don't know. Only Terrorblade would die to that, but he is well into the jungle.
Meanwhile, Gandalf surges in. He's going to blinding light Havo's back, who now takes the chain. They're going to blow a split here as well. Big commitment to kill off the Bristle. And can they even do it? The Quills start to stack up. He's going to continue to pursue him out, throwing him up in the air with the Cyclone, back down to Earth. Havo still very tanky. He had 10 more stick charges. Not able to get them off. Simultaneously, Kuro. Can they catch him? Can they get off that initial sleep? No, they sleep the illusion. Oh, that's not the right one. The thwarted in their efforts. This will open up the mid lane for Dendi though.
I don't even know if they get that kill though. If he sleeps the right one, he just wakes it up with an illusion too, and then just runs away. So it's still very low probability.
Maybe if you sleep him, sap. Well, then you want to brain sap though. Sap to kill the illusion. Yeah, that would be tough.
So apparently you can sunder illusions. I did not know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that the other day.
Well, they need to protect the stack though. Well, I guess it's almost a dead stack, but Puppy was working on it earlier.
I will say this Elder Titan is giving a hard time to Kuroki. He's farming well and using Sunder to stay in the jungle, but you can see how powerful that Elder Titan is against a fairly squishy Terrorblade at this stage of the game. But Yasha's now up for Kuro. He is just completely free farming. Now the leader in CS, he's been very efficient in the woods. He hasn't, there's been the one gank attempt on him, which is a tough one without Vendetta or level 6 on Bane.
Elder Titan might actually be very good versus Terrorblade. Looking at Terrorblade, he has 14 armor. Well, actually 15 once he's
the same as
extra.
Morphling. It's really good against him.
Yeah, and 700 HP with like 3 armor to a Bristleback and a Death Prophet, he's just going to get melted.
Yeah, the Chinese teams have been when they give away Terrorblade, they normally do either pick or ban Elder Titan depending on what team they're on. So go for a sleep top lane, and let's see if Avos can start stacking up that coup to number 1. But it's now a level 3 chain, so the range is a lot greater. Kills on fly aren't so easy to come by. They bring in Dendi as well. Really getting close. It's just a little awkward draft-wise for Na'Vi because so much of their play lately has been this like 5 to 20 minute mark aggression. And they just don't have heroes with levels to make it happen. There's no Blink Initiator with a stun. There's no level 6 on either support.
It's very hard to have that game plan though versus Brewmaster.
That's true.
Like 5 to 20 minutes is just where Brewmaster just wrecks people.
You see they want to do something. Yeah, Dendi kind of ambles towards top. The supports have been smoking, but they just don't. They can't find like an easy, clean opening. Frustration for Na'Vi in some ways. Gold now tipping the way of Secret slightly, very even. Experience also their direction. Have still that one tower advantage. Death Prophet in this game, but I've yet to crack a tier 1.
And it will be a Crimson Guard rush for Bristle, or for Bristle.
Very good versus Brewmaster. And actually illusions in general.
Yeah, still, I mean, heroes will hit for what, probably around 200 with the
main hero, yeah.
with the main hero, and Crimson Guard only blocks 50.
And it definitely isn't a great. It's definitely not going to be good enough late game. That's for damn sure. But for the mid game, it might give Navi that push over the top that they need.
It gives them a lot of armor too, which is very, very important.
The other nice thing with Bristle, no mana cost. That's a bit of an issue. If the mech build not so common lately, just because the increased mana cost in 6.82. They're starting to group here. They be pushing? What do you think? Is this their time? Looks like it's their time.
Yeah, they have Chakram as well as Keeper Illuminate to deal with it, though. They have to like catch them by surprise. Though. They can't just like, hey, we're gonna group up at our T1 and then slowly push towards their T1. That's just way too much time for Secret to react. So ideally, they'd go in with like a Vendetta and FNG behind and just pick up any stragglers and then transition that to a tower push. Ideally, Panda, but
they're gonna try for it anyway, Ben. Exorcism pop. Very far back though is Dendi. He does not want to get caught out here. Glyph not available. They're gonna lose this tier 1 for sure. Is there even a deny attempt? No attempted, or none attempted. Secret not really trading directly, but just kind of waiting this one out.
that's still really good for them. Only one tower down in 15 minutes versus Death Prophet, who had a relatively easy time in mid due to no supports coming. That's
They get
pretty
off the
good.
Vendetta initiation. They smash the stun Simba, but they gotta get in front of him with that follow Carapace to actually get a kill. And that's not gonna happen. Does Carapace the Brewmaster clap? Still, Chakram coming through. Crimson Guard not gonna save you from that. As Vangscore heads to the right, he'll be cycloned and dealt with. Do they go for a boast as well? No. They're just gonna take the Bane as their prize. A 2-0. Though they did lose a tower, and it did cost them a Bruce split.
I think Vanscore actually messed that fight up really badly for them. They had the very nice Carapace post clap from Brewmaster, which gives them like an extra, what, quarter of a second or 3/4 of a second to react to the split, and he didn't grip him. And they had already used Fire Blast too. So
Dendi, this is a struggle for him. That extra Fire Blast comes through. Illuminate off the mark, not gonna matter. S4 finds another kill. Kuro barely able to survive. Made the Sunder a teammate. Yeah, go back to well. He says, I got better things to do, like farm. Avost will find a trade and Puppy retreating out. But that is a Keeper of the Light for Death Prophet. And still, the free farm mounts. Kuro, he's got his Manta. It's a 16-minute Manta Aquila Treads. He purchases it. We'll go for it immediately. S4 being pursued at mid lane. He's got 2 goos up. The stun cooling down. FNG trying to maybe Carapace clap. Other Titan ultimate. Those come through. Now they'll grip Simba though, and he gets out of position. This is the much easier kill. They're gonna club him down. Nice turn there for Navi. Makes it a 2-for-1, but do they take a tower on the back of it is the question. Because if they don't, well, Kuro, Manta out, still free farming now. 1,000 gold lead or so. We might see a round 2 of this engagement. FNG in position, Host in the front line. He has his Crimson Guard ready. Not popping just yet. Goes for the stun, gets it on 2. Nicely done by FNG. They need follow-up here to bring down S4. Will the evasion procs be with him? They're not. Kuro now splitting and trying to engage. Doesn't have a Sunder. He's going to pay with his life. FNG barely falling to that last auto attack from a creep, I think it was. Puppy getting credit for the kill, though.
man,
The tower drops mid. Suddenly, Navi getting aggressive with great success.
the Crimson Guard is just ridiculously strong at this point in the game.
So fast.
Yeah, I mean,
Pavos went from being 800, 900 gold down, just want to mention, and now he's 600 up. It's like a 1,500 gold swing in terms of catch up with that Terrorblade, and overall, a 2,000 plus gold swing in favor of Navi.
yeah, generally when I see Crimson Guard, it's like 25 minutes and onwards. It's usually gotten, but if you rush it with Bristleback and this early, it's incredibly effective.
Yeah, he's been beefing up, and Avos picks up a Sanj. So we might just see a halberd rush for him. That's a pretty potent item to step evasion against Terrorblade, who generally doesn't build MKB, and if he does, it's not early.
Sage and Yasha, man. I feel
Could
it.
be. Do see that like the Chinese alchemists, but they play kind of similar. We'll have an engagement mid lane. Blink Clap is there. FNG did pop Vendetta. Can he turn this one around in any way? A little bit of, well, they're going to go back for Dendi. They'd rather try to kill off the Death Prophet. Surrounding him, but the Impale comes through, nearly finishing off the Timbersaw. With the Brain Sap, they'll secure that kill. Another death for Fly. They continue to mount. Dendi's still alive. They'll need another Boulder Toss. They don't get it in time. Blink Clap, and the crits there. S4 does it the hard way, alone. FNG with another Impale, but the multicast from Big Daddy will secure that one. Another death for Dendi as well. Both of these heroes struggling, and this is without Kuro. He's off in the top lane, doing that Terrorblade thing. He's going to take a tower. That will not be contested.
I like how Secret doesn't play passively once they have the Aegis. But that's what most teams would do. Like, oh crap, they have the Aegis, and then they would just wait for Navi's ultimate to be up and then push another tower. But instead, they strike immediately on the offensive with S4 using his Primal Split because they know that Death Prophet probably used Exorcism for it. So they immediately go on there, and I mean, he could have also blinked out and it wouldn't have been that bad of a fight for them, but instead he blinks in and gets 2 more kills on the Nyx and the Death Prophet. So they're just pushing Na'Vi. It's like, hey, we know you guys are ahead, but you're gonna have to work to keep that lead.
Yeah, we also know that you're, as you mentioned, Exorcism's down and your ability to fight is fairly limited. By the way, what are your thoughts on this Midas on the Elder Titan? He went for it pretty early, and it's starting to add up now. He's up to 2k gold. Do you think it's a Midas game?
Well, it depends on when Na'Vi think they can end the game, and if they don't think they can push high ground by like 35, then it's probably better for him to get a Midas. And they don't have any other Midases on their team, so I think it's okay.
The one thing we've seen a lot of lately with Elder Titans is actually the Ags, for the additional disarm.
That ult's so hard to hit, though.
Yeah.
Like,
unless you get a really good impale on FNG.
I think you're generally better working towards his strength, which is natural order, and further augmenting the damage with either a Veil, depending on your lineup, or an AC, or a Shiva's. I generally think is the better way to build him. But I think in some specific scenarios, AC or Ags rather is better.
We also occasionally will see a Hex, just to
Hex is really
if there's
good
a
too.
hard to lock down hero, which Terrorblade not that hard to lock down, but very important to lock down. You do not want him to sunder.
I mean, he can even get a Dagon. Dagon would be pretty good at just straight up killing Terrorblade because he's going to be their biggest problem as well as Panda. And Magic versus very, very good versus them, so I wouldn't be opposed to that.
S4 pings out Dendi, but Dendi's going to move in. The other direction, he walks straight on in, throws the Terrorblade up in the air. Facer also moving forward, but there's 4 Na'Vi heroes waiting. Now Havos is in the front lines, racing onto S4. Just a solitary goo to start this. To keep the aggression flowing. Don't want to let any sort of defense be mounted here by Secret. They'll have a blast coming in. Puppy will prepare to unload and illuminate. We'll throw it. Havos turning his back to the illuminate. Hardly even taking damage from that. Jesus, he's tanky. Now takes an Ogre stun as well. Still doing work to this tower. And it's Timbersaw pushing on the side lane. Not the Terrorblade who would do it much quicker. Havos finally dropping low in this fight. His S4 jumped in, but he got gripped. He wasn't able to get off his ultimate. Might have been a Dendi Sans there to boot. Kuro still trying to duke it out though. They're going to lose the Bristle one. Do they lose him a second time? Funnick dropping quickly, and now Havos gets aggressive. Earth Splitter's there, immediately popping that Sunder. Havos is driven off the fight. What looked to be an awesome initiation. There was no Bruce split there. Still somewhat falls apart. He'll chase on the bank score. Kuroki in pursuit. 2 or 3 more auto attacks will do it. He doesn't have brain set mod. He's got a stick. Can't use it in time. They end up dropping 3 in the end. A 3-for-1 exchange, but the tower does go Navi's way.
The power of Terrorblade.
Well, I think Timbersaw got the tier 1 bottom, and they're not done yet. They're after on Dendi. No Exorcism. Impale to start Kuro. No Sunder. They might actually get this kill. They really need to shut him down. The blinding light almost perfectly placed by Puppy. As Na'Vi, Carapace is there. Fly can't retreat out, but this is the real kill. They gotta find Kuroki. He's got a teleport ready. Impale's also available. They're gonna go. He tries to Manta dodge that. It was just delivered recently. Impale, not enough. S4 comes in too late with the split. Crimson Guard coin down at 5. Without that, Havos probably going down here. Illuminate comes through. FNG has an Impale in a few. They're going to cyclone him up, drop him back down. Chakram will greet him. They even bought back. Remember, these buybacks have much longer cooldowns in the latest patch. That's 7 minutes with no buyback for Fly, but nonetheless, gets the kill on Havos. Definitely worth it for that. As Bankscore also pursued out right back the other way into a multicast. My goodness. Secret. Like you said, they're never afraid. They lose a fight, they'll buy back, they'll fight you again. Relentless from both teams.
They really wanted to get that mid T1 tower, and it looks like they will actually not transition into that. And Kuro still really, really strong. He managed to buy an ultimate ore before he died, so he didn't actually lose any gold, and his net worth is just mounting and mounting, but not compared to Havos sitting at a pretty 11,400.
Yeah, of course, if this goes late enough, it's going to be tough for Havos to do alone. Funnick is going to find a solo kill on Puppy, though, it looks like. Earth Splitters him, drops him back. Blinding Light will be there. He's got to teleport out immediately. Impale from long range. Captain Puppy going down with his ship. Na'Vi will punish him.
Without that Sunder on Terrorblade, though, they would have lost the fight miserably due to the excellent Fiend's Grip by Manscore. And it might be a little bit greedy going in for a blink clap and primal split, but he got away with it last time, so he thought he could get away with it again. But the silence just came out a tad bit late onto the Terrorblade, and there goes the majority of your team. That was like 1500 HP loss immediately on Havost.
Yeah, maybe he needs some magic resistance.
Well, I mean, the Sunder, they just can't let the Sunder get off.
Yeah, that's true. Havost for now is gonna... And actually, there's still a lot of... There's also the Timber Saw, which is going to give him problems as this game goes on. For now, Fly is pretty poor. He will pop his ultimate. Bottom lane, Navi looking to push in. Wrap around. Maybe a bit of a premature ult.
They're going to lose a tower on top, too. So, at worst, it's a 1-for-1 if they keep on going for Navi.
There's no glyph for the Dire. There is no glyph for the Radiant either. But Dendi's ult was almost entirely wasted. There was an illusion from the Brood just cutting the wave, and the time these creeps come in, the tower's hardly taking any damage. This is an awful trade for Navi. It's not a trade at all. And while they try to TP out, they may get caught. FNG, Monolith, they're going to brew split for this. It's a pretty big investment for the support Nyx, but they've brought in Curl. Perhaps they try to transition into something else. The tier 1 mid.
Funnick.
Maybe even look for a Roach. The Cyclone searching for Funnick is going to find him. S4 with fantastic micro. As the skywalking spirit of the Elder Titan rejoins him. He tries to stop. That ain't going to happen either. 3 times multicast for Big Daddy. Another kill here for Secret. Making the slightly better decisions in these. When to push, when to trade, when to fight. They now have the Terrorblade on top. I think it's the first time, well, not the first time, but the second time this game is on top, and time might be for a long time. Take the tier 2 bottom. Mid tower's pretty much a goner at this point. About to be a lot of additional gold into Kuro's pockets. He may have a Scotty in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, and if they get an Aegis on top of that, Navi is going to have a really difficult time defending against that, because Navi's strength is this time. It's like the 15 to 35 when Crimson Guard and Exorcism is really, really strong relative to everything else. And slowly but surely it's going to fall off, especially with Terrorblade's ridiculous farm. And the more farm he gets, the shorter their window is.
On pause, we're back underway after a very quick break. Gonna push in all the way. They'll just send the illusions to cut the wave. Creeps are not with them. Okay, I guess they won't get the tier 2 bottom just yet. Didn't have creep support. They were trying to push it in, but realizing they need to back off. Now they're gonna rotate mid for the tier 1, perhaps. Honestly, they could just siege that with Terrorblade illusions. They don't have to commit anything to kill it. Navi will have a glyph ready. Couple of minutes, but, well, actually 1 minute, but that'll probably be too long.
Well, they also have the recall with Kuro, which is kind of cool, because usually Terrorblade's like, well, I either have to split push or I can join the fight. He can't do both. But with recall, he can do both.
He also has his Eye of Scotty already. I thought he needed a few more components, but some of it was already on the courier. That's a 25-minute Eye of Scotty.
He has a really good. He does a really good job of gold management, just buying out before he dies. Which, I mean, it seems easy, but it's actually not that easy.
Yeah, making sure you don't lose any unreliable gold as well. Kuro has done a nice job of it. Got 2 deaths this game, but this is that point where Terrorblade starts to pull ahead, and if it goes late, Navi, decent AoE if Elder Titan hits his ultimate, but that's not something you can count on. And it seems Funnick isn't going for the Ags after all. He will go for a Hex now, picks up the Void Stone, Ultimate Orb. So they will have some additional lockdown, not just for the Terrorblade, also for the Timber Saw will be nice. But I mean, you're looking at even the Ogre Magi now coming online. No-Tail gets the level 2 ult. He can start playing the lotto here with that Aghanim himself.
I don't know how he transitioned that smoothly. He was the support that was walking around trying to kill the DP, checking runes, and not getting any stacks. And he transitioned very nicely from that broke position 5 to a very nice Ags wielding position 4.
Yeah, his CS is pretty abysmal. 25. He's the Bane and Nyx, as much as they roam, we're actually ahead of him, but he's 4-2-7, and the tower gold is also starting to pad in.
Dire's middle tower.
Now he can become even more of a threat.
Well, he just hasn't died very much.
Yeah, 4-2-7. That'll do it. Dire supports, yeah, 1 and 5 on the Nyx, 3 and 3 on the Bane.
Every time Navi goes for a tower, Kuroki's right there to trade another one with it. So he gets top, they get bottom, and
it's just ridiculous. This bloodlusted main hero is, oh my goodness.
No-Tail is goner. Oh, actually, they recall. Oh my goodness.
Divas, they're going to look to fight this one. The reinforcements are coming in for Secret, and Dendi caught out instantly. Where's the backup? Navi too slow to fight. Now Havostas to charge in on his own. The boulder toss greets the bristle. Gets multicasted as well. Cyclone ready. Will be used on the Bane to keep Havost isolated, but they're just buying time for Kuro top lane more than anything. He's about to begin cracking the base. Another multicast. Ding, ding, ding. As they'll lose Havost, most likely he's still alive for the time being. One more nuke will do him in. Brewmaster blink and clap, that secures the kill. 2 cores, the 2 lead farmers down now for Navi. And Bank Score turns, goes for the fly kill, can't quite get it. 40 HP after the stick charges, barely survived it with reactive armor. Navi lose 3, they get nothing. And that was without Kuro really involved in the fight at all. He's going to continue using Sunder to maintain the push, and now they're up to about 2,800 gold swing their way. Lead begins to mount. The bloodlusted 300 damage per auto attack, ranged terribly going to work.
Their mobility is just ridiculous with recall. There were like 2 heroes top. They're like, oh, okay, we see a solo ogre. I mean, that's an easy kill. Goes in for the Yules, doesn't have it when they burst him down because immediately 4 people are on top of him.
Now the Earth Splitter on S4, it's not going to connect on anything. And going back to what you mentioned, they don't have much setup. It's just a Nyx Impale, and that's not too easy to land without a Blink Dagger. Navi starting to fall off a bit, it feels. A lot of their items are very mid-game centric. It's a Crimson Guard into a Sanj and Yasha into a BKB. Nothing, no Assault Cuirass picked up yet for the team. Dendi has gone for your Yules and the Shivas, but still a long way off from like your 6-slotted Death Prophet status.
And he only has 1200 HP. If he gets multicasted or Timbersaw burst or keep the light illuminated, he's just going to drop like a rock. So what Navi really needs to do is secure Roshan more so Terrorblade can't get it, rather than utilizing it for themselves, although it is a nice pickup for those. But giving an Aegis to Terrorblade at this point in the game is almost game over.
Well, after what was a 2,500 gold lead, it's swung 7,500 in total, giving Secret a substantial advantage. Actually a bit more than that, more like 8,500. They now lead by a lot. They're free farming on their Terrorblade. The Timbersaw is completed in Bloodstone, your Ogre Magi. Not only the Aghanim Scepter, but now can go back to buying all the wards and smokes for the team. This gives Puppy room to pick up a 4-step and 2,000 gold. Everyone's staying relevant here on Secret, whereas some of these Navi heroes, like Bank Score, 4,200 health, or, sorry, 4,200 net worth, he's starting to fall off. FNG, still no Blink or Force at 30 minutes on a support Nyx. Just not very relevant, it feels.
And Secret can have another BKB on Panda if they want, but they already have one on Terrorblade too, so sitting at a very pretty, probably 2,200 HP post BKB.
Gonna rotate Havost in. Has picked up a BKB of his own, but the difference is there's just a lot of right-click damage from that Terrorblade now, especially with Bloodlust. We'll see how effective his BKB is. He gets Monolith. He may have to pop it. He's already lost all his mana anyway. He just stands and tries to fight against Croak. He gets stunned by the Monolith. And while that's happening, they jump in on the backside, finish off Bank Score with the Brew Split. The big lockdown for the Terrorblade is out of the picture, and Havost starts getting shredded. The slice and dice is in, and Kuroki will bring him down once. There is a round 2 here. He's saving the BKB for that, but now Terrorblade morphs bigger and gets stronger. And begins pounding into the Bristleback. It's stomped. Can they get an Earth Splitter off? They're going to need a good one from Funnick. Lets it fly. It tails there to hold Kuro in position. He gets hexed as well. They got to finish him off before that Sunder. Force-stepped away towards safety. He gets it off. Oh, no. Now you probably got to run. Death Prophet ult doing good damage, though. This may be enough to turn the fight. Navi using that second life to good effect. Puppy in danger. No Tail in danger. But it's still, for the time being, the Terrorblade standing strong. Exorcism wearing off very soon. Yules is there. Dendi's ghost got to return in time. Nearly dies, able to survive. And Kuroki also living by a prayer. Just a shred of HP. What a crazy fight. Not done just yet. Okay, we're done now. No Blink Dagger on him. They're going to try and chase, but, well, they'll need a Yules, and meanwhile Simba is chaining all the way out. Kuroki sending an illusion. He's trying to bait with this, but Navi are not going to fall for that one. And he's just sticking around for a while, man. Very confident that he'll get off this next Sunder.
Both,
all right, I guess he'll be alive in the end.
both teams know the key to the fight is Terrorblade. They almost bursted him down at Scythe of Vice. A very crucial 4-staff by Puppy saved him right there. And then the timely BKB into the Sunder. If he gets Sunder off, Navi isn't going to win a fight. And that was with the Aegis. And it's a 2-for-2. So, yeah, Navi's timeline is running out very, very soon unless they can work out some very well-coordinated burst onto old Kuroki there.
Yeah, and that's like pretty much perfect chain stun from
Yes.
Navi as well. The only thing they didn't get was a long duration grip, but can't count on that at this point. Like, Vangscore is just going to get jumped by the Brute every fight. They're not going to let him grip. And I guess the only way that changes is with a BKB for him.
Yeah, and he's just not going to be able to farm it. I doubt he'll get it before the game ends. And Nyx Assassin working on that 4-step. Eventually, he will get his. He's just a Ring of Regeneration away. And Ogre Magi also working on a 4-step. Gotta save Kuro.
Yeah, they know if Kuro lives and gets off Sunder with BKB, the fight's over. Or at the very best, Navi retreat, but they're not going to kill him from there. What's their late game transition? Do they have anything, or is it just hopeless?
Well, I mean, Bristleback still does a lot of damage.
You go like Abyssal Blade here and just try and
He
lock
needs
down the Terror Blade?
AC more than that.
Oh, uh-oh. Caught out with Savos, and he tries to go toe-to-toe here with Kuro. He does pop his BKB. Shiva's also used by Dendi. They exorcised him too. They barely managed to slow down Kuro, but too much backup for him. While meanwhile in the river, Fly is pursued out by Funnick, but the entire gank train of Secret descends. Funnick really chased that for a while. That first slow is here. He's got a Hex ready. He's going to have to pop it. Uses the Stomp as well. Dies before he can get it off. The Earth Splitter was dropped as well. Out of position. Honestly, like, he saw the big skirmish here, and I guess he figured that Secret would back knowing Exorcism was used, but they just came around the other direction, went right back in. That's with Exorcism being deployed. Now it's on cooldown for 2 minutes.
Well,
They just go high ground top lane.
I don't think so. It's not that time. They won't have Metamorphosis up for the... I guess maybe they can.
They could maybe they siege it a little bit, rather than like fully committing.
And actually, Death Prophet Ultimate was used.
Yeah.
It might actually be a really good time to push.
See, they're thinking about another Sunder to keep Puppy low and keep Kuro healthy. The bromance continues to pay off here for Secret. While they're just marching bottom lane, they also have a Vlad and an AC. That's such a good pickup versus Elder Titan. Even when he's alive, your team's still sitting on a very healthy 10 armor. Each Navi now being pursued out. Vangscore quickly falling here as the Brew split shuts him down. They can Cyclone and ignore the Brew. They're going to Rax, or attempt to anyway. Buyback was used by Elder Titan. Gets the split, or the Stomp rather, on the way out. But then what? Where do they follow this one up? Earth Splitter not available for a full minute. Kuro is now in melee form. Still hits hard though. Bloodlusted, he'll bring down the tower. Secret continuing to play aggressive as opposed to stun once more. Unable to do much in these fights. Constantly Monolith, Puppy, 4-step up, down one cliff, up another. He's skating all over the map. FNG unable to get in range. Big Daddy retreating to the left. Kuro to the south, recalled back to the base. Puppy did TP out. They're so good at protecting this Terror Blade. It's just, you know, like we see a lot of teams will pick like defensive supports, like your Venge for the swap, or Abaddon for the shield, Omni Knight occasionally, but Navi, or Secret rather, they just heal him and just relocate him with the 4-step recall. They've done it. They figured out another way to keep him alive.
And at the same time, they're doing a fantastic job of kiting of both. Pop BKB, immediately everyone turns tail and runs. So they don't have to trade any cooldowns with that. And then they mana leak him when his BKB is down. What is the Bristle going to do? Just stand there and spray? And he can't lose all his mana either. So
Yeah, is he going to BKB every time he gets mana leaked? Then they just slow him once with Terror Blade and walk away.
and then on top of that, they can Drunken Haze him during the when his BKB is down too. So they have to get a lot of mileage at when he pops his BKB. It's just not usually happening. I think he might have to stagger his cooldowns too. Use Crimson Guard for one defensive ability and then BKB for another, not at the same time.
Navi just haven't been able to keep up either. Just in terms of raw farm, your Death Prophet for Dendi is sitting at 13k net worth. He's 2, 3, and 7. It hasn't gotten the impact that he's searching for out of this hero. Like by the time they tried to force towers, Secret were trading, and often winning fights and getting tower trades.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think he can do that much more, though. It's mostly just Kuro pressuring everywhere, getting killed with Metamorphosis.
Dendi, he's in far here mid lane. The multicast brings him down to half. Ford does have his ultimate, but he's waiting for the right opening. They're going to force out the Exorcism. Dendi will BKB as well. They got to commit to get some kills here. Terrorblade comes in from the rear. Dendi, no Yule Scepter ready. He's going to be slowed. No, actually, all those attacks missing pretty much. As Kuro, his own BKB going to wear off soon, but standing strong for the time being. Still has a Sunder even ready if he needs it. The boat's now falling back. There's still an Earth Split already. They may have to drop it just to keep Havos alive. Stomp. Will there be a stomp? Havos TPing out. And while that was happening, they did lose Dendi's Death Prophet. The Brewmaster Split secures that kill. Secret just overwhelming and outgunning Na'Vi. Kuro's just not even threatened anymore. It's not really just the Terrorblade. It's the Timbersaw, the friggin' Ogre Magi's posting up on you, and they just can't punish it. And these Force Staffs, it's not just kiting the Bristle, it's kiting everyone.
I mean, look at Terrorblade's
being kited.
Terrorblade's damage is ridiculous. With the Vlads and Bloodlust, I mean, these towers just melt.
It's like the illusions are almost irrelevant. The main hero is doing most of the work at this point. Especially with the Crimson Guard, but it's good enough. He's still, at the end of the day, an incredibly strong late game range right-clicking carry. He's very difficult to lock down and bring down. The most pushed back by the Blinding Light. He's out of mana again. Puppey has completely shut down his former teammate in these fights. That Mana Leak is such a pain in the ass for a Bristleback.
Yeah, and they even try and force staff him safely, and he just loses even more mana that way. Still, he is their front line, and well, Death Prophet does have a lot of armor in BKB, but still, no one can stand toe-to-toe with Kuro. Once he pops BKB and Metamorphosis and Manta, everyone just has to run.
Rip on S4 mid, he does have a split in 10 seconds, not going to get it off. Nice pick there for Na'Vi.
Gem lost.
It's a gem down too. I mean, you can't expect anything better than that, except maybe killing Kuro, but that's a much more difficult kill.
Can they get the Roshan, though, to extend their lifeline? They have a buyback as well as a recall in 15 seconds.
They're actually looking for more kills though. With no gem, they know they can get aggressive here. They're going to walk up the... Oh, maybe they are just rushing. No, they're thinking about kills. This could be big for Na'Vi. Can FNG get off that multiple hero stun? Do they go for Kuroki? Who's the target here? Havos walking up, fighting illusions. While FNG pursues other heroes. There's no Force Staff on Big Daddy. They impaled from FNG. Oh, he clicked right behind where he Force Staffed. So it shot the wrong way. Made him look really bad, but that was probably just a matter of like a 50, 100 unit misclick. Big one though. That was an opening for Na'Vi, and they did not take it.
Did you say 1,500 unit misclick?
No, 50 or...
Oh, 50 or 100. I was like, 1,500? I was like...
Not a big misclick, man. Only like a screen. Yeah, 50 or 100.
So this Roshan will extend their lifeline a little bit, and I don't know. They could fight it. Is that 20% though? No, too late.
Yeah. Well, what do they do with the Aegis? That's the concern here.
They extend the game a little bit longer, and hopefully they get more opportunities to shut down the Terrorblade.
The one thing the Secret does not seem to buy any sentries, but S4 blinks in, claps and goes directly into Funnick, who gets off the Hex to start this on Simba, but Simba just walks away as a sheep. Will end up surviving for now. Vangscore using a Brain Sap. He'll go down first and foremost, and they still chase on to Na'Vi, even with the Aegis. BKB was used by Dendi just to dodge an incoming Boulder Toss, so they still chase for Cyclone. They're gonna back off. They scatter. Secret might just be trying to end the game against an Aegis, and geez, that's how far ahead they think they are. Let's check the buybacks here. No buyback on the Bane, no buyback on the Elder Titan. The new change, he would have had it now, actually was short on gold anyway, but the cooldown makes it irrelevant. And Secret will just clean up a second lane of rats. Who cares about Aegis or cheese? We got Terrorblade. We got Kuro playing it, and that's good enough for us, say Secret. They'll clear out the Aegis to start. Now they go for round 2. Havos trying to go toe-to-toe here with the Terrorblade, but easier said than done. As he's quickly brought down, the Carapace stun will lock Kuroki in position, still at half health. And FNG, well, the gem, will eventually fall to a blink clap. They can probably just go for the throne. They're forcing Na'Vi back to the well. Na'Vi even blasting them out of that damn well with the blinding light of Puppey. This will secure a kill, and probably with it the game. Nicely played by Puppey, not just for show, but... Well, the game was most likely over anyway. Just rubbing it in. GG. That's your call. 32-16 Secret. Run away with this game, and it could turn out to be a big one. Na'Vi, outside of this game, still look pretty solid, likely to be in the running for the playoffs. Secret, with this win here, improved to 2-0, and they knocked Na'Vi down a peg to 1-1.
They had a good idea. It was a nice concept with the Elder Titan and Bristle to try and shut down the Terrorblade, but it was just not an adequate solution. They have to... They need others.
Yeah, it was just they didn't hit their timing windows quite well enough, I guess. And yes, should they have contested Kuro? You brought it up in the draft. Should they have gone aggressive with the Bristleback? Would that have made a difference?
I think they have to. I think most of the time, Terrorblade, first 20 minutes, easy.